welcome back to our show, The Tang Reviewers, where three Tang Dynasty poetry legends read and critique your poetry submissions. I'm your host, Du Fu, and as always, I'm here with Li Bai and Wang Wei. Guys, thank you so much for being here today, and we've got some really interesting poems that I think you're gonna love. Yeah, happy to be here, man. Always excited to review poetry with you guys, so let's get into it. Well, I'm not going to delay us. We're going to get straight into it. Our first submission today comes from listener Longfellow Stan 28. Is this the third Longfellow fan to submit to the show? No, it's the fourth. You remember that one that sent Paul Revere's ride every week until we blocked them? Oh my God, I remember that. Well, actually, this one has submitted a different poem for us to read this time. I'm not going to read the note out loud because it is 3 full pages of Longfellow praise. You got some very dedicated fans, Longfellow. Good for you. But we're going to read Mezzo Cammin for today. Oh, I've actually read this one before. The title translates to Middle Journey, I think. I remember being really engaged with it only because of that, because I thought, by middle journey, it was going to be describing somebody's, midway through their sabbatical through the mountain. Yep, I get what you mean. That's actually what caught my eye about this poem too. But I don't want to spoil it for Wang Wei, so let's just get into it. Let's read it. Half of my life is gone, and I have let the years slip from me, and have not fulfilled the aspirations of my youth, to build some tower of song with lofty parapet. No indolence, no pleasure, nor the fret of restless passions that would not be stilled, but sorrow and a care that almost killed, kept me from what I may accomplish yet, though halfway up the hill, I see past lying beneath me, and its sounds and sights, a city in the twilight dim and vast, with smoking roofs, soft bells, and gleaming lights. And here above me on the autumnal blast, the caracat of death, far thundering from the heights. Wang Wei, I think that you're the only one that hasn't read this before, so I'm really interested to get your thoughts first. I do not like it very much. No, but seriously, I'm really trying to latch on to some of this stuff because I see the vision, okay? Longfellow Stan 28. It's not that I don't get it. I see the vision. I see the speaker being removed from civilization. I see the themes of enlightening oneself to make greater sense of the world. But, I just cannot get past the city setting. I mean, yep, I totally agree with you. And I can really see this being a poem that otherwise you'd really like, Wang Wei. But just because this poem is so detailed in the past, Longfellow Stan 28, it really just isn't for me. I think all of our work is really focused on the present. And even when we're discussing the past, it's really just to add context to our present situation. But this poem in particular feels like it's being driven by the past and how it's in creating an unforeseen future or an undesirable future. And that really just isn't work that I think we particularly connect with. Yeah, I totally agree with the both of you. Longfellow fans, I appreciate your dedication, but there are so many amazing poets out there that you guys are really going to love and kind of branch out in different ways. And we're going to read some of them today, right now. Wow, that is a smooth segue, my friend. Anyway, our next submission is by listener Habby Ganna. Hi, Habby. Thank you for listening. She says, "Hey, Tang reviewers. I just started writing poetry recently and have been so inspired by your ability to craft such dense, materialistic, thematic poems in such a short space. It really speaks to your guys' skill as poets." Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I love that. We love hearing from you. Yeah, I thought so too. She ends the note by saying, I'd love for you to read my poem, Relatives. My friends and family have said it's amazing and that I'm the next greatest poet of our generation. That's a pretty good note. So I wanted to share this with you today. Well, I haven't actually read this poem yet, guys. I really, since she's such a big fan, I wanted us to all read it together and see what it is firsthand. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Time is relative, beauty is relative, family is relatives. Yeah, Habby, I can see the vision. If you just keep working at it, I am sure you can never really master poetry in one go. I mean, I can really appreciate what you're going for here, but it's okay. I think you guys are really gonna love our next submission, I swear. I swear to God, if you try to sneak staying overnight into this podcast one more time, I'm really gonna lose it. I'm not, okay? This is a real listener submission by Bob Snow Writes Poems. And he says, hey guys, love the show. I'm working on my next collection. Next collection. Okay, good for you, Bob. I'm working on my next collection and I wanted some feedback on my work. It seems like we have similar interests in the natural world and where people fit in it. So I thought you guys would be the perfect critics. Oh, so this guy has been published before. He's referencing larger themes in connection to our own. He's legit. Okay. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. I mean, we have fun here reading and critiquing all different kinds of poetry, but it's really nice when somebody sends something in that speaks to, the things and the themes that we're interested in our own work. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm very excited to help out up here. Let's get started. Snow falling and night falling fast, oh fast, in a field I looked into going past, and the ground almost covered smooth in snow, but a few weeds and stubble showing last. The woods around it have it, it is theirs. All animals are smothered in their lairs. I am too absent-minded to count. The loneliness includes me unawares. And lonely as it is, that loneliness will be more lonely ere it will be less. A blanker whiteness of benighted snow with no expression, nothing to express. They cannot scare me with their empty spaces, between stars, on stars where no human race is. I have it in me so much nearer home to scare myself with my own desert places. This might be one of my favorite listener submissions that we've ever had, really. I mean, the snowy clearing is just such a great natural image in this poem, and they really let it take center stage. You guys know that I love a solo speaker. I love a first person perspective, and it's just so compelling here. I think it really drives the story forward. And even though, honestly, I typically don't like poetry that doesn't specifically name the location that's talking about, I don't really find that I mind it here, honestly. I like the idea that this clearing could really be anywhere, and that this setting is just so kind of universal that that's what makes it speak more for itself. Yeah, I really like it too. I think that the poem's imagery really does this great interplay of opposites, and we can really see the dichotomy of the empty clearing versus the forest full of the hibernating animals. And I think that kind of adds an extra layer to it that really speaks to like my Taoist influence that I love. But you guys know what I'm gonna say. Oh boy. All right. Oh, here we go. Where's the human connection? Where's the human connection? Seriously, I mean, it's all focused on this vastness of the scene, and the only tension or hint of human civilization that creates tension is in those last three lines, implying that even among civilization, he's capable of feeling vastly alone. But it comes so late in the poem that the narrative, if he'd led with it, would have totally changed my perception of the reading and really put that at the forefront. No, I can understand that from your perspective, Lee, like how you incorporate that into your work. I can appreciate that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. What I will say about this poem that I think is my biggest concern, I think you guys are going to agree with me, it is really long. Okay. Look, Bob, I know what you're getting at, and there's a lot of potential here, but if you can take your themes in this poem and get them down to 5 or 6 lines max, you're going to be in a really great spot, dude. Well said, both of you, really. And Bob, thank you very much for sending us this piece. We love it. And thank you, Habby and Longfellow stands. You guys just keep trucking and you are gonna get there. I know it, I believe in you. Anyway, we've got time for one more listener submission, and Lee actually picked this one, so Lee's gonna read it. Her cloud-like clothing. God, what? Dude does it all the time. Are you telling me that I can't submit my own poetry? You know, you're a real hypocrite, and you're just an enabler for him. I see exactly what this thing is doing. You guys just don't appreciate